In the middle of the vast ocean, where the waves never sleep, there are people who drift day and night on the sea. They not only face the wind and waves, but also hunt for schools of fish in the deep water. This is not simply a fishing trip, but a journey full of sweat, technique, and courage. Follow the giant fishing boat and discover every step of the process, from casting the net, pulling it up, to bringing the fish onto the deck and processing it, a process that is both arduous and magical, where nature and man struggle at every moment. Hundreds of meters below the surface, the net begins to expand. The two wings of the net spread out like giant hands, sweeping across the ocean floor. The net door, designed like a giant funnel, keeps the mouth of the net wide open, helping to guide the fish straight inside. Nothing escapes this net of death once it is within its reach. Fish move with the current and accidentally fall into the middle, where the net bag is silently closing. After hours of drifting and collecting fish, it was time to collect the net. The heavy net bag began to rise from the water, carrying the first catch. The heavy net was finally pulled up on deck. Thousands of fish were thrashing around inside, making the net vibrate like a giant creature. The sailors stood by, ready for the next step. Every move had to be precise, because even the slightest mistake could cause an accident among tons of fish. This net was a living testament to the day's work, a bumper catch waiting to be released. The net bag is tilted gradually, and at this moment, streams of fish begin to pour out like a waterfall. Fresh fish glisten under the lights, jostling each other to slide down the discharge chute, preparing to enter the processing system. Workers stand by closely, ensuring the process is safe and precise. Everything happens smoothly. Each operation demonstrates the professionalism and extensive experience of those working in the sea. This is the result of hours of work in the storm, a huge mass of fish, ready to enter the next processing chain. As soon as they are dumped from the nets, the fish are immediately transferred to the automatic sorting system in the hold. A continuous stream of fish arrives, crowded on the conveyor belt, creating a breathtakingly lively flow. Here, the fish will be inspected and sorted by size, weight, and type. Some will be transferred immediately to the preliminary processing stage, cutting, cleaning, freezing, all taking place directly at sea. On the deck, giant nets were slowly lowered into the sea. The dense black nets, hundreds of meters long, stretched out behind like a giant curtain encircling the ocean. The sailors closely monitored every detail, ensuring the nets were cast in the right direction, without tangles, and in time to cover the entire fish area. The front of the net had begun to form an arc, a signal that the encirclement tactic was being deployed. On deck, The pulley cables are stretched, transmitting power from the engine to the net pulling system. The entire system of pulleys, reels and cables operates rhythmically. Each circle of the net is narrowed slowly but surely. The crew, under the golden afternoon sun, concentrates intensely. Each person holds a position, eyes never leaving, hands never leaving the net. The movements are practiced, typical of the seafaring profession, repeated thousands of times over the years. The net finally closed. Inside, tens of thousands of fish were jumping around in the swirling water, creating a scene that was both chaotic and spectacular. The sound of water crashing, the sound of fish flapping echoed between the sea and sky, all like a symphony of the ocean. The fishermen tightened the rope, gradually narrowing the area. Each person took their place, coordinating like a well-oiled machine. This was the most tense moment because if they were careless, the fish could escape, or danger lurked for the puller. And then one by one the fish were pulled onto the deck. They struggled violently, splashing water under the bright sunlight of the ocean. It was a scene both vivid and breathtaking, the obvious and worthy result after so many tense moments. The fishermen raised their hands to signal a sign of coordination, or perhaps an undisguised excitement, because this was not only a successful catch, but also a testament to perseverance, technique, and courage in the open sea. Amidst the cold water and the clouds covering the sky, the fishermen are still diligently working. The net is pulled up little by little, hands tightly gripping the rope, eyes never leaving the water. There is no noise, no rush, just the familiar rhythm of those who are too attached to the sea. They know every movement of the waves, every small signal from the net to adjust their operations precisely. The net was pulled high into the air, weighed down by tons of fresh fish. Under the weight, the bottom of the net burst open and streams of fish poured out like waterfalls. A veritable rain of fish, splashing across the wet deck, and the cheers of the sailors. The fish crowded down, filling the floor, each one a living testament to the effort, to the spirit of working tirelessly in the middle of the ocean. In the midst of the huge waves, the deck almost disappeared under the cold water. But no matter how hard the waves beat, the net ropes kept tightening, the pulling continued. This is the most difficult part of the seafaring job, when not only sweat, but also human safety is tested. Fishermen have to keep their balance and manipulate the nets in conditions that would make anyone flinch. But for them it is a daily job, because behind the fierce waves, there is always hope for a bountiful catch. The sea was restless, but the work continued. The nets were slowly pulled up, weighed down by the wind and rain, and seawater splashed across the deck. The ship rocked in the rough waves, but no one moved from their positions. On the slippery deck, each sailor clung tightly to the equipment, working together skillfully to bring each section of net to safety. Every minute was a race against nature, not only to keep the fish, but to keep themselves. The heavy net was finally open, and immediately, streams of silvery white fish poured out like waterfalls, crashing into the hold with a resounding sound full of life. Each fish was a gift from the ocean, and the result of many efforts, many moments of tension between man and the sea. The sight was not only beautiful, but also a worthy reward for perseverance and honest work. The whole ship rocked, not from the waves, but from the joy that a successful catch had truly come to an end. First of all, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We really appreciate it. If you find the video interesting, honest and worth watching, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends.